And welcome back to Manor Lords, my friends. We are picking up here year 2 of our settlement. We are trying to really push the Manor Lords demo to the absolute max, building a medieval village that's going to spawn into a small township here. We were able to survive our initial year through subsistence hunting on the local wild animals, be able to get our first forays, establish ourselves on the map with a little bit of a connection to the trade route, and now we are looking to begin building our farmstead, clearing this entire hillside for fields and setting up the bread economy to be able to give our colony the longevity that it needs and the potential to be able to expand, host more families, and be able to expand our industry. We got the farmstead building here. Let's go ahead and plan out our initial fields as well. So I don't want to encroach too much on the iron mining opportunity, but it looks like we could get a field. Now this color scheme is showing the, what do you say, the fertility of soil based on the different crop. Right now we have wheat selected, which is far and away the most important crop for us. Let's get our field like this. We'll build a little checkerboard of fields. I'd actually like to start 2 because crop rotation is important. It's not as psycho as Farthest Frontier. I was looking a little bit at that game and man, they make you work for it, but it does exist here. Let's get this field up here. I'm wondering if we get a road up in this direction, if this makes any sense, but there we are. Then we're going to need to clear these fields out. And while the farm is still under construction, we can take a look at how the fields function. So you have the crop type that you're able to set down from this drop down: emmer, wheat, flax, and then barley. We're going to begin at wheat, and then we are going to allow crop rotation. And next year we are going to go, effectively, let's do 2 years of emmer and then 1 year of fallow, meaning that it will be a complete off year for that field. Whereas the other field will, it's even more fertile. Fantastic. Its second year will lay idle, and then the third year will pick back up. We might establish a third field in between years to be able to sustain us, but right now I think this is good. And because this one was the most fertile, I am going to give it a higher priority for anyone that we employ out of the farmstead. We have these 2 fields opened up. And then there'll be more details here showing the expected harvest. You have the option to immediately harvest if bad weather is setting in. You can burn the crops, which I think also will return fertility. But it's probably not a great idea to try and push for, but there could be something to play around with there. I'm really excited to dive into this. And at March, we are in spring. There's still just a couple pockets of snow. This game is shockingly beautiful. Shockingly beautiful for a solo project. Still can't get over that. Only 1 dev behind this project. Fantastic work. As the farm is waiting to be built, I think another goal that we would like here is to import an extra ox here. So we'll get one of the families added on to go out and bring us our second ox, because so far, what was our ox's name? Timothy? Thomas? Where are you? Once we find them, we'll double check, but the village ox has done, he's put in his share of hard work all last year running solo. Now time to give him a hand. And I love the village building foundations, the stonework here. The little details. They've got the outhouses. They have the little shanties to hold supplies, firewood, I assume, keep it dry. So much attention to detail. Now the farm under construction. Almost done here. There we are. Okay, so now we need to assign our farmers. We have 3 unassigned families. Let's bump it up to 2 right now. That gives us only 1 family running all the odd jobs and construction. But as soon as we get that second ox, we can unassign the livestock trading post. We don't need somebody working there the whole time. And we should probably get another little homestead set up here opposite the farm. If we've got the farm, we should be able to support a larger population. That's my thinking. I'm sticking to it. We will search up here and see if we can get 2 houses. We get 3. I would rather have 2 with the option to expand, but it seems a little finicky to be able to finesse that criteria. Plot is too small. And that's for 2. No options to, up there we are. Whoa, we had it. Okay, excellent. So one of these it's going to be able to host a little garden or chicken coop, something like this. I like it. Hey, we have our trader returning with cunts with the Z. Okay, this is a bizarre name, but the ox is coming in to help us out, be able to transport, because we have to use the ox to be able to carry lumber to every construction site, the felled trees back to the logging camp. There's so much that the ox helps out with, and right now in the demo, I believe you're only allowed to work farms by hand. Here we have our farmers going ahead to plow the fields, but you can do an upgrade. Where are you? Out of the farm? No. Here? There's an option. People? I saw it before. I swear that you can upgrade to use animals so you don't have to plow by hand, but I assume that's going to be a tech locked behind the demo development level. We do have, if you click here, a full tech tree that will ultimately be available. That's really impressive that they have this set up here. Close me out of this. Okay. Once we get these two families, we're going to hit a population of 10. 10 families established. Well, that's perfect, because then you can actually support the preacher in the church. The tithe out of the 10 families supports the salary. Also, if we check up here, you can hover over and be able to see what it takes to reach the next level. So once we get the 10 family population, we're going to be considered a medium village with the church. And then the 10 villagers, rather than being a small village, we're actually a medium village. We're a point on the map. I wish that here it would show, it actually does show the roads, which I think is very cool, but it doesn't show the buildings, at least not very clearly. I guess we're starting to build in there. Is anybody else building buildings? I think that the rest of the world here in the demo is going to be completely barren. This doesn't even have any roads. Incredible. Okay, let's zoom in. And I think that this map right now is set, though it will randomize what region you begin in. So if you play the demo multiple times, you can start in different regions, and that actually does change your layout, the resources available to you. It changes a lot. So there's even replayability here in the demo. Unfortunately, you're not able to save any of these games. So we're just doing a marathon recording session straight through today. If you enjoy seeing the Manor Lords, leave some love on the video. Like, comment down below what you think of the demo. Are you hyped for the full release? I'm going to read all the comments and love chatting about these kind of games. Now we're actually getting through. We've got enough farmers to be able to plow this field. I love that we were able to hit this right at spring to get this going. So it is actually into the growth process. Fantastic. And it's only April? We might actually be able to get a harvest out of both fields then. I would love that. I'd love that so much. Then what we should do is check out, well, we're building these houses. Okay, we got one of them established. That means we can go ahead and lay out our next project, which is going to be the windmill. So there's the whole chain of process is the fields grow the wheat. The farmers harvest it, bring it back to the farm. The farm threshes the wheat into grain. The mill grinds the grain into flour, and then you go all the way over. The communal oven allows any family to come with their flour and bake bread. Let's not uproot any trees if we can help it. Do we want it a little ways away at like a central location? We have a lot of houses over here. I don't want them having to go too far to get the goods. We're not very efficiently laid out, but that kind of adds to the charm of the village, medieval village kind of style. We've got the storehouses and granary over here, but then we have the farm all the way over here. Would have been better to move these. I suppose we could relocate them. Do they relocate? They do not. Some buildings are able to be relocated, like the logging camp. I guess anything with camp in the name gives the connotation that it's temporary and can get moved around. We're working on the windmill. And that was the improvement. Now, we're locked here. The upgrade to a manor is a population of 999. So this is basically locked off. This is as far as you go in terms of upgrading the levels of your village in the demo, but in the future, there's going to be a lot more here to be able to play around with. Okay, the windmill. I wonder if I have to assign people there. It could be something where we have the farmers switch over to work the mill in the winter, be able to get the bread when we're not able to hunt as much. Could be a lot of different options there. And there we go. We got an extra family. Fantastic. Windmill is complete. Doesn't hold anything right now because there's no harvest to bring in, so no need to add workers right now. We can get up to 3 mill workers. And then the communal oven is going up. We've got 22 timber. Logging camp. You're still only like one guy. All right. I was going to say take a break, but I'll leave the one guy. Get the trickle coming in. I think the improvement might be that we got 2 oxen now to be able to help bring and distribute all the timber. They don't have to, the woodcutters don't have to wait to take their turn with the ox to bring it in from where they felled the tree. Let's see. Pantry limit has been reached. I'm not too concerned about this. We have the new message. The king demands. Oh dear. Pay upcoming royal tax. Okay. We have 1 year to come up with the money for the royal tax. Now this is going to be quite the stretch for us. We have to go over here and then we have to build a bailey wall, set up a manor house and a gatehouse, and then we can set up a tax collector, is I believe how it works. And eventually, in the full game, I mean, you'll be able to handle military troops out of the bailey, and this serves as kind of your hub. I don't want things clipping through the road here. But we do want to get our bailey established. Hang on. I think the bailey doesn't have to be in a set of 4. It can just be kind of freeform. Yes. Fantastic. We'll try and allocate a fairly large area here if we're going to have the tax collector and the manor house all connected. There you go. Build this one. And then maybe get the gatehouse. Yeah, sure. Set up like this. Marry it up with the road. Are you able to connect? I guess so. I don't know if that did what I wanted, but I think it'll be fine. I guess we can always check if it is later on, if it's actually... There it is. Connected to road network. Fantastic. Ooh, the communal oven. Why do I have to add people? Shouldn't just the housewives be able to come with their flour? I guess not. Okay, so we have so many projects. But as we add in the... Where are you? The manor house? The manor house has living space for 5 peasants. So we should be able to get a lot added in here. Hang on, how does this work? You clip onto the wall? You build up against the wall. Interesting. Okay, maybe we have space for even 2 manor houses here. I'm glad that we stockpiled as much wood as we did, because this is an enormous expansion. We need another 4 for the tax collector. It's still locked, hey? Well, I guess the bailey's not yet done. Now the bailey is done. Get the manor house completed. You're still locked. Okay, I'm gonna hope that building the manor house unlocks you. While the wheat fields are growing here in the summer and we get the meter here, I'm gonna cut down to just 1 family tending the fields. I don't think they have to do too much maintenance while the wheat is growing. So that way we get more of a disposable workforce to be able to work on our construction projects. 5 royal tax. I have no concept of if this is hard to achieve, like if we need much of a runway to be able to gather the tax or not. Our regional wealth is quite nice because we've been selling pelts for so long. But I don't know if we're able to tax off of this or if you generate tax. Otherwise, it'll be a growing experience. We'll see what we are able to learn here. And with that, the manor house is completed. Policy is unlocked? Policy is not unlocked. If I select you, I can just see people. Total living space, 1 of 17. Wow, we can have a lot of extra families come in here. Construction, and the tax collector is available. Thank goodness. Okay, we can build a tax collector anywhere. Maybe we get the tax collector's building more centrally located, and then we can potentially fit extra manor houses around the sides. It might be what we play for, because otherwise they get built right into the wall, and it seemed like the actual house had to be built right up against the bailey. On second thought, if we're going to play something like this, probably putting it close to this house will be the least chance of conflicting with other houses placed around the wall outside. Okay. Can I build a tower? You can build a tower. I don't think the tower... We'll build one later on just out of pure pride, but it's more for the military aspect of the game, which in the demo doesn't exist. So there we are. Now we have so many extra families coming in because we can fit 5 living in the manor house. This is like a hotel. It doesn't seem big enough to fit 5. When you think like the housing quality, I would have expected the manor house to be higher housing quality. But if you imagine 17 people living in here versus, you know, just one family living over here, feels like this would be nicer. You get more privacy. Okay, the tax collector is done. And here it is, taxation options. You can set a tithe to the church, a geld, basic tax, collected per family on the first day of each month. And I assume this is just a base treasury, okay. And then the tithe gives away a percentage of goods to the church. It converts silver into influence. Influence can be used diplomatically. It can be used for favors with the king. No, that's king's favor. Influence is only going to be used diplomatically for influencing adjacent regions. And we have Parageld, upkeep for mercenaries, penalties, collected whenever grain is milled into flour, trade tax, calculated for every transaction at market stalls, and a war tax, collected the first day of the month only in times of war. Okay, you're going to have to give a percentage of tithes just so I get a trickle of influence. And then the geld, I'm going to leave it at 1 silver, and we're going to see what happens as it ticks over the month if we're able to get out of the red here. The rain is certainly helping out our fields as they progress through the summer months. Then we don't have anything to thresh right now. And I don't believe that we have anything to mill. So we're fine right here. Total field workers 2/0. Meaning hired/needed. Oh, there we go. So it actually tells you how many are needed at this time in the season. So we could cut this down to 0 and let people catch up on all the other jobs. I love that. I actually do love that. Now we should probably look to our industry. Be able to get a tannery, convert these pelts into leather rather than just outright selling the pelts. So let's get the tannery up. And where do we want to have more industry? Honestly, getting it closer to the stockyard and the pantry makes the most sense to me. So let's get you set up right up here. There we go. And then we have brewery, converts malt to ale, converts barley to malt. Being able to set up the tavern, which is needed to be able to update the comforts and conveniences. We have years on this to be able to work on, but we are going to try and develop everything. Maybe just getting livestock trading is going to be better, but we'll see. We want clothing stalls set up, food stall, firewood stall, take me to village life, take me to clothing stall. Did you set up? Okay. If we check on a house to see what is being provided. Nope, these are the trade posts. This is a house. We have 2 different kinds of food that are being provided. I'm not sure what the second type of food is. Is it coming from so-and-so's garden? This one family garden is giving us the variety, maybe. And we have faith met, not entertainment, and not 2 types of clothing. So here we're going to be able to get 1 type. What are the other types available to us? If we go back, industry. The weaver's workshop converts wool to yarn and flax to linen. So, do we want to grow flax or do we want to keep a herd of sheep? I would like to go with the sheep farm, just to be able to explore more of the building options, even though we're going to have to buy the entire herd of sheep. Because we cannot explore animal husbandry right now. But that's fine. We would play, where are you? Sheep farm? Sheep farm. Harvest wool from sheep, and then you can have pasture. Provides grazing space for sheep. Without enough space, they won't breed. But breeding requires the sheep breeding development branch locked in the demo. Where would we like to keep them? Is there pasture value? It doesn't look like it. Just having it within this relatively open space seems like it could be very picturesque to keep our sheep. Little dotted sheep. Ah, it's so cute. I'm a sucker for this kind of thing, guys. I'm sorry. Let's get the sheep farm going up over here. And then the pasture. Mark that out right here along the roadway, up on the hillside. Animal capacity of 23. That seems great. Just a little... The whole feel of the village is that everything is a little imperfect. There we go. Pasture is established. That means that we should probably go ahead and start getting some sheep. So I want import only. Target of start the herd with 6. Start the herd with 10. I'm gonna have to pay 200 to get that, but it must be done. And we only have 2 months left of our food supplies. The animals have been hunted extremely. Not a lot going to be coming in there, but we're at August, which means that we're going to be coming up to harvest time soon-ish. Oh man. And this fertility has been dropping tremendously. It was at 91 when we started. Now it's at 53. So the crop rotation is going to be an imperative to be able to keep up bringing in wheat. We might end up clearing out some more fields and then letting them fallow for longer to regenerate. 2 months, you say. Hunger is going to be a problem. We can trade for some food. What if we do this? What if we take food? And I would like to bring in... What's cheap? Eggs? Milk? Trade for eggs? Trade for vegetables? Okay, so vegetables are coming out of that one family's farm. Fantastic. And that's hitting the general market. That's good, that's good. But could be better. Berries are 3. I guess we can bring in more eggs. Import only? Try and keep me above 10. Yes, this makes sense. Add a traveler. And add an extra worker here so we can keep this trade going. You are set up, people. Trader following. What are you doing? Are you just started your job? I would love it if you could go out and actually get me the sheep. But I suppose without the sheep farm constructed, maybe we don't have a place that they recognize to be able to place them. Nope, here it is. Sheep farm's done. Livestock and capacity is at 0. Nobody's working here. We just need the sheep. We'll check back in later and see if I need to add a person here before I can get the sheep added through the livestock trader. Okay, we almost missed it. We didn't have any workers on the field, and that meant that the harvest might not have come in. It's September. We've got to work it out. Okay, everybody available. This is all hands on deck to get the harvest in. And then the threshing done. So, we got 55% growth. And here comes the harvesting. Here we were able to get 46% growth. So I believe that that was downscaled from 100% based on soil fertility and maybe weather for the year. Right now I think they don't have very many weather related events active, but we can watch the harvest. Man, there's so much detail. It's still a solo dev project. It's mind boggling that they accomplished this. Is this game, honestly, let me know in the comments, would you guys buy the game with its development level right now? It's the free demo right now. This is alpha. There's so much more planned out that it's miles away from being completed. But would you feel that this is purchasable? It's a good question. Taking the hand carts in to be able to bring them into the farm. And then the threshing can happen. We're storing it up over here. This is where the threshing goes on. The pantry is here with the wheat. Wheat threshing priority. You can alter. But I think we're going to get the harvest done in plenty of time here. September, October, November. Yeah. We'll be able to accomplish everything we need to in autumn here. And then hopefully have enough bread baked up. Should probably add... Okay, here, let's micromanage a little bit. Decrease the number of farm workers. We're getting ahead here. Let's get somebody else on the woodcutter lodge to make sure we have enough firewood for everybody, because we've expanded we've like doubled our population from the previous winter with the extra houses and then the manor house. And hey, look at this. Our tax is met. Fantastic. We might even start running a surplus. Our treasury is at 36 plus 18. Incredible. We're going to have quite the war chest at the end of this. Now, how's the animal situation coming? I feel like you are not actually doing what I want you to do. Trader is following. And by following, you're just hanging out with the ox. Okay. Hang on. Yeah, you're just helping with the ox. Got it. Maybe what if we add a worker over here? And then we can take another worker off the farm. So the farm, if you want to micromanage, does require you to really be on it based on the season. That was kind of fun, actually. Let's get you here. Herder, waiting. Sheep must first be imported via the livestock trader. I understand, and I have requested that we import 10 sheep. We have the money, and I have people working here, but they're not helping. All right, all the wheat is getting carried in. Let's balance things even more and start grinding it up. All right, get the windmill turning. Threshing priority is only at medium. This is, I believe, how they would balance taking goods in. It's raining. We got to get the wheat in so it stays dry. Come on, guys. Hop to it. Oh, finally, the livestock trader has decided that he's going to quit walking around with the ox and is actually going to buy us some sheep. He probably has to bring them in one at a time, too, which is ludicrous. We're not going to be able to set up any cloth production here. Let's see, we have the tannery, but we don't have anybody working the tannery yet. Let's add a family over here. And let's check out the trading post. Are we still trying to sell? Yeah, so it is set to, let's decrease how many people are over here. Full trade on selling this. I suppose that makes sense. And then come back to, yeah, one traveling trader. What are you guys doing? You're transporting? What are you transporting? Transporting meat. That means you're just considered idle? Okay, now you are getting an animal. So are you helping out the livestock trading post now? Even though you work here? Interesting that you can work multiple jobs like that. I like it, but I'm a little surprised that I had to build a separate building to be able to accomplish that. Then how is the food? No, that's crops. Food. Eggs? Why aren't you going out to buy me eggs? We still only have 2 months of supplies. We're backs are against the wall with winter right around the corner, and the windmill hasn't done anything. We're still just pulling stuff in from the fields, and it's October. October, the threshing is happening. We're producing grain out of the wheat. Let's go bird's eye view on this one and see. Okay, try and clip out of this building, and we're right here. This is exactly where I wanted to be. We get to see them threshing. This is probably the only way that you get to see them threshing, is to actually come in with the Lord. Ah, I love it. They have their big flails. Iconic for when peasants would take up their weapons, they'd bring out the threshing flails and the pitchforks. And then is the mill able to run right now? Hang on. I don't want to click on the person. I want to click on the mill, please. There you are. Yes! We have flour. Oh, thank goodness. That means at the communal oven, we now need to add somebody to be able to turn the flour into bread. And we probably start cutting down on the farm workers. We're going to keep 2 families continuing to thresh, but we really need the supply of bread to come on in. And do we have a sheep yet? I feel like it's about time. People? Getting an animal. All right, they're still on their way. Ah, it's all coming together. So we're still threshing some of the wheat into grain. We're milling the grain. I guess they just stand under the windmill. Okay. I would love to see an update where people shelter from the rain, but with them simulating the people actually have to be at a location to work a job for the job to progress, I don't think that's ever going to come into the game. You're just going to see them walking around in the rain. Back to the windmill. We're producing plenty of flour here, getting our goods ferried back and forth. And then at the communal oven, we see we have our bakers hard at work producing the bread to be able to give us food through the winter. Let's see, if we check in at one of the houses, we see we have a food variety of 3 because the vegetable garden is helping us out here. And then we have Meta clothing with the leather from the tannery, Net Faith, We just need entertainment to set up our tavern, and we need the sheep farming to actually take off. Our one, oh, he's even named Heinz. Oh, looks like Heinz wants to escape. Looks like he's able to clip right through that wall. Okay, well. In the winter you can't shear the sheep, but in the warmer months you can, to be able to get wool. And then we're going to have to build another industry building, actually, to be able to refine that into cloth. So we're a couple steps away, and obviously a lot of sheep away from being able to have what we want. But we have enough money to continue to purchase and get our herd up to the size that we want it to be. And then once that hits its size target, we should be able to have our traders focus in on selling our surplus goods and buying foodstuffs if we need it to be able to make it through. But I think we're going to have enough bread to be just fine. I love seeing the carries, everybody carrying the bags of flour and then working here around the oven. Hard at work. This must be a nightmare in the rain. I don't know, maybe it's warm enough. I imagine around the big communal oven it'll be warm and dry. This could also be a time to actually set up a designated pantry worker, granary worker. But I don't know, just letting the odd jobs fill it has worked out so far. No room to produce good at the communal oven. Ah, yes. Well, I want to check our food balance first and then see about adding actually a second manor house. Interesting thing with the manor house actually is that it cannot be upgraded. It also cannot be expanded. So I think the manor house is it's being treated as a lower form of housing than the Burgersplatz. Because these you can upgrade to a different level, you can check all the people's needs. If it's a large enough area, you can expand it with another improvement like the vegetable garden, which has done very well for us. And then we actually added the chicken coop. I don't know if I got a recording of this, but we do have the chicken. The chickens. 3 of them. Yes, I love it. They've not made very many eggs. There's no eggs added into our food source, so with only 3 chickens, maybe that's not really enough to do anything, you know? Taking a look at the goods balance here, we have such a surplus. We haven't even threshed all the wheat into grain yet, which is crazy. And then the windmill has been able to process everything into flour, which is good to see that they, with only one worker assigned to the mill, that's keeping up. And then the communal oven is also doing a good job at keeping up here. We just need more people ready to ferry the baked bread over to the pantry. So I think that we only have 2 months. 2 months. Let's see. Let's take an extra family off the logging camp with 34 lumber. We don't need any more. We need extra hands on our food economy to be able to get this to a balance. I'm wondering if we want to go ahead and build an extra manor house and then assign the workers to this specific supply chain. It seems like there's enough resources here to benefit from the extra hands. So let's actually go for it. Administration, manor house. Oh, you have a limit reach. You can only build 1. Hang on. But I could build right here. No, it's conflicting because of another reason. Okay, you can only get 1 then. Well, good to know. Let's get some extra plots then. And these are better anyway because they can be improved with the gardens and other updates. Something over here across from the sheep. Stocks damaged by the weather at the farm. No. And at the firewood stall. Okay, well that's terrible. Why would the firewood stall damage the firewood? The whole point is that it's here for people to be able to use. It seems like the stalls should be able to have a distribution method that would not damage the goods. Am I crazy? All right, we are well into January, coming out through the winter, have still been riding this 2 months food supply, which is terrifying to me. We've been trying to buff up the enable idle laborers to help the supply chain start moving everything. Everything's gummed up here at the communal oven because it only has storage for 50 units of bread. And it's just gobbed up so that the cooks can't be turning more flour into bread. We need to get the flour over to the granary and then distributed to the food stall, which also is empty here. What is going on? Maybe we need to get a designated worker over here as well. We're going to have an entire family working the food stall. Maybe this will help speed things up. The granary stores up to 500 food, helps supply the food stalls faster. So what do you do? Provides easy access to food for the houses. Must be placed within the marketplace. Okay. Okay. We also might add a family over here on the granary to be able to keep on shuttling the food out. I'm okay with a weak harvest coming in from the farms this year because, I mean, we've stockpiled so much. We can certainly feed our population if only we can process everything through the communal oven. We're also well on our way to a herd of sheep. We're up to 5 sheep. I've also noticed one of our traders has just been here for the last 4 months. So things are still broken here in the demo. I'm sure that as the game nears a full release, those are going to get fixed, but I wonder if something like that is also happening in terms of our supply chain around the communal oven. And because we cannot save, there's no way to reset things. I'm getting a little worried to see how far we're going to be able to take it, because I really want to wring the most out of the demo and be able to see the awesome stuff that we're able to build here. If you guys have enjoyed the video, leave some love on it, like the video, leave a comment about what you think of the gameplay. And this is going to do it for year number 2. Stay tuned to the next episode, year number 3. Will we die out of starvation, or will we be able to smooth out our production processes? Remains to be seen. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.